I thought it'd be worthwhile to talk a bit about my experience over Christmas actually, and it's not because I had a massive hangover. I got some sort of virus or food poisoning or perhaps something like that, and as a consequence I spent Christmas Day in bed. Both Claire and I had sort of similar things, so we guess it might be food poisoning, but she also had an illness, and as a consequence I think it was a combination of the two. Anyway, what I noticed is that I take my heart rate variability every day, and what I noticed is that there's quite a big dip in. I don't know if that's doesn't look very good. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen share. So what I noticed is that I was doing quite well. I was doing quite a bit of training, and my heart rate variability was climbing. High is good for heart rate variability. Unlike heart rate, your resting heart rate is better if it's lower. That roughly indicates fitness and good recovery. Whereas heart rate variability, when it's higher, is an indication of good recovery or good health or readiness to train or whatever like that. Anyway, I sort of have a love-hate relationship with heart rate variability. I'm not totally convinced by it. It correlates very closely to resting heart rate, so arguably why bother doing heart rate variability, but then again nowadays with modern tools, why not? And so I take it every morning. And as you can see from the chart, the variability peaks and then it gradually comes down as I get worse and worse. Surprisingly, it doesn't. The lowest point isn't the. Well, you can see that I didn't take it on the Christmas Day, the day I was in bed, or the day after because I felt too bad. But it continues to drop, and then after that it starts to climb up again. And it was only really the last few days that I felt like training again. So the question is really: is it a useful metric? Is it, or can you just go with how you feel? Well, it's objective, and an objective metric can be quite useful because even though, we don't want endurance athletes don't really like to feel like they're being lazy, and it's not. I mean, I'm using myself as an example, but obviously, a lot of the athletes I work with take heart rate variability, and what we find is that this objective measure and these trends give us an additional piece of information that is a bit more, it's not really more believable, but it's sort of more, it reinforces the way things are feeling. If you're feeling like you're feeling tired and your heart rate variability is normal, then probably go out and see how you feel. It might be in your head. If you're feeling tired and your heart rate variability is low, then it's likely that there's something wrong, and it's a good idea to rest before something and see whether you can catch something before it manifests as a more serious illness. So I think it's useful. I don't think the day-to-day information is like the day-to-day recommendations are useful, because I mean, if you the way it works is if you you can see the green lines when it says you're okay to train. Sorry, my hand's a bit shaky. And you can see that after the two yellow areas where I was, where the low values were, it said that it was okay to train, but really, then it just stabilised. What happened was it stabilises at a low value. The rolling average that it uses to make the decision is perhaps a bit too short. And things are getting better. But what I find is the best thing to do is just get to know yourself, get to know what your normal things are for you, and then you can use the numbers to make your own judgment and look at the trends. I like to use a sort of rolling 7-day average trend is a really useful thing, or you can just eyeball it as you can see from the chart. Anyway, that's it. Heart rate variability, pretty useful, I think, although you just have to be a bit careful and make sure it works for you. You tune it to work for you and not just use the generic guidelines that are in the apps. Okay, hope you like it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.